Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Or maybe not everyone's in the afternoon time zone, but for me, it's 2:03 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, well. Happy Monday. Do you hear the sirens going off? Anyway, how are things going? For those that are here on Monday, are you starting today? Is today your day one? Are any of you brave enough to be like, yeah, Jerome, today's my day one? Let me know. Maybe this is the last time that you are going to restart your journey. Maybe it's the first time you're ever doing anything like this. Let it be the last. Because this journey, the way I see it, the way I feel for many of you, is we don't restart. We don't say, today is day one. Okay, it's Monday. Let's start over. We don't say, hey, you know what? It's August 25th. If I don't make it this week, let's just start September 1st, because September 1st, that's a nice round number. Well, it's not really a nice round number, but it's more of the first of the month, and it's a new beginning, and it's a new me. And you know what? I bet you said that to yourself on your last birthday. I bet you said that to yourself on January 1st. Am I wrong? Maybe. But I bet you there are a handful of you that have done this. Let this be the last time you start over. Make this a lifelong journey. The title of this live stream explains this perfectly. If you want to drop the fat, you want to drop the excess fat, you want to be happy and healthy, you want to find long-lasting success, you're not going to find it through perfection. You're not going to find it through saying, well, I'm going to start on Monday, because on Monday, then for the rest of my life, I'm going to do it perfectly. What you need to do at this point is say, hey, I'm going to accept imperfection. I'm going to practice imperfect consistency. I'm going to try things, and they might not always be completely successful, but it's worth trying, it's worth learning, and it's worth moving on from that. My journey, 659 days in at this point, my journey has never been perfect. There have been glimpses of maybe what you might call quote unquote perfection, but those were just times I was pushing hard. Those were times I was giving it my all. And at the very beginning of my journey, I had a very all or nothing mindset. But that's changed over time, because I knew that kind of mindset was not going to last. There's a lot of imperfection to talk about on my journey today, and we're going to get into that. And actually, as Randall puts here, hey, Jerome, how's it going? How's the refeed? I refed last night, for anybody that might not be aware. Did you stay under 3,000 calories? Short answer, no. And again, there's that imperfection I'm talking about. My goal yesterday was to keep under 3,000 calories. Because I didn't do that, did I say, well, you know what? I'm over, so I might as well eat everything in sight now. You know what? Maybe I'll just stop counting calories altogether. Maybe I'll just hide everything I'm eating from everyone. Maybe I won't be accountable and track all this extra food that I'm eating. I did none of those things. Instead, I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. I want to eat this extra stuff. I'm going to eat it. Yes, I'll talk about it on the live stream. And here I am. I didn't hide. I didn't say, well, you know what? I don't want to do the live stream because I don't want people to know that I overate. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to imperfect consistency. This is what I talk about when it comes to accountability. I am literally showing all of you right now what imperfect consistency looks like. Yes, I fast. Yes, I go for walks. Yes, I try to eat healthy as I can. Also, there are days where I'll eat whatever I want. But I think the point I'm trying to get across to all of you who are watching this is you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. And when those bad days come, can you figure out how to minimize damage? Can you figure out how to perform damage control so that one bad day doesn't turn into 2, doesn't turn into 5, doesn't turn into a month? I have been there. If you have been following me at the very beginning of this YouTube channel, when I initially lost all that weight and then I left for 2 years, I left because I couldn't be accountable. I wanted to hide. I wanted to eat the way I wanted to eat. And then I was too far gone that I was too embarrassed to show up. There's none of that anymore. And you've seen it. You've seen it when I'll gain 5 pounds, 10 pounds. You've seen it recently when I gained 30 pounds. But yes, in a lot of ways, it's embarrassing and I don't want to talk about it. And yeah, I missed a couple live streams because I didn't want to be accountable. Those moments will still happen. What I'm trying to show you all is it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. All you have to do is start picking up those good habits that you have been working on every single day and just get through it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. You've heard me say that many times. I feel like that's my mantra, right? Imperfect consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Thomas asks, is it a good idea fasting for 1 day and then eat a little more the other 6 days and have a little more calories to eat? Honestly, Thomas, these kinds of questions, the only way that you are going to see if it's helpful is for you to test it out. So if you want to fast for 1 day and then give yourself a little more calories the other 6 days, that's a good strategy. But if your intent is to lose fat, to lose weight, you still have to make sure that you're putting yourself in a caloric deficit. Really, it just comes down to that for many of us. Fasting is such an incredible tool that you can apply it in all different kinds of ways. You can fast for a long period of time. You can fast for shorter periods of time. You can fast for a long time, once a week, twice a week, once a month. Whether it works or not is really dependent on the person. Whether it works or not is really dependent on if it can be sustainable and consistent for you. So, if anything, I should be asking you the question, when you do it, how did it go? Were you successful? Did you realize that you're still overeating? Did you realize that you can't get through a 1 day fast for now and you still have to build your fasting muscle? This is also a good reminder that for many of us, we can sit here, we can plan, we can strategize, and all of those things are well and good and well. But the best way to just get started is to just do it, is to start getting into the process of picking up these healthy habits. If you're somebody that's just snacking the entire day, do you have to? Can you give yourself time in between? Can you make better choices when you're eating? Can you get some extra steps in? Can you go lift weights at the gym? Thomas says, ask me next month. I look forward to that, Thomas. I like that plan. Fast for one day, right? And here's the thing. Look at what I do, right? I fast on a regular basis. I'm always performing rolling fasts. I've been doing that now for 659 days. Thomas might have a different strategy here, fasting for just one day. And then on the other 6 days, he has the opportunity to eat a little more calories and maybe still put himself at a deficit to continue losing weight. So yeah, it's August 25th. I mean, let's be real. I don't think I'm going to remember a month from now. So Thomas, you're going to have to remind me. Before I continue on here, I already forgot. I need to say hello to everyone. Miss Peaceful One, Judy, Patty, Dornick, Deja, Lucas, Randall, Lynn, BMJ, One Golden Breeze, Martha, Aisha, Thomas. Did I miss someone? Wandering Traveler, Chell, Yago, and Wandering Traveler with a $10 super chat. Wandering Traveler, thank you for the support as always. Wandering Traveler is a frequent on my Sunday live streams, and I appreciate you showing up on a daily today. Wandering Traveler with a $10 donation. Again, thank you so much. Asks or says, Jerome, what's up? I'm locked in. 40-day water fast starting September 1st. I've done several 5 days, but I need the challenge. I want the challenge. I'm going to just do it. Okay, Wandering Traveler, here's my first initial thoughts, okay? So again, thank you for the $10 super chat. This also might be a challenge to anyone else. I know people are like, Jerome, can you do a challenge? Can you do a ADF challenge? Can you? Wandering Travelers doing something on the 1st of September. I'm not saying you have to do a 40-day water fast, but maybe that's something that you might be interested in doing and be like, yeah, I can try. And also, this is an opportunity for someone to say, I'd like to try that challenge. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to make sure that I'm still going to keep pushing along and figuring out, okay, maybe I can roll into another fast. Maybe I can eat better. Maybe the challenge means that you just don't stop at this point. And Wandering Traveler, the same goes to you, right? Of course, you know what maybe you know what I'm going to say. The first thing that comes to my head is, why September 1st? Is it because it's the first of the month? I get it. I totally get it. I've been there. I've done it, right? I want nothing but the best for you. You'll have to show us your accountability then. Is that fair? You'll have to keep us posted on how that's going. I mean, Aisha's in here. Aisha's, what is it? Aisha, 29 days in? I haven't checked the update. I usually read chat later. But, I mean, let's see it, Wandering Traveler. I guess at the same time, right? I want you to think about what a backup plan looks like. If a 40-day fast doesn't get to 40 days, if you feel like you can't push any longer, if you start to feel off, then you know what you need to do. You break, you refeed, and then you go again, right? You figure out what your next plan is, whether it's to try to keep rolling into it or show yourself the best 40 days that you can give yourself, right? That's what I mean by this. It isn't like, if I don't do it, then I'm going to walk away, right? So Wandering Traveler, the challenge is on. Let's see it. September 1st, keep me posted. If you want accountability, keep everyone posted in here. Let us know how it goes. So again, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I'm glad that you're locked in. You'll have to keep all of us posted and let us know how it goes. Okay, so 659 days into my journey, a lot of ups, some downs, and like I've said before, more recently, about a month ago, I ended up gaining 30 pounds due to mindless eating, overeating, stress eating, comfort eating. And I went from 140 up to 170. A big reason for that, if you haven't noticed by the echo in these live streams lately, is this apartment is practically empty. The walls have been patched. Well, you probably can't see it because it's so bright. The sofa's gone. There's not much left in here because I'm moving out. I'm also moving to a different country later this year. And that stress, that overwhelming feeling of having 8 million things to do, it caused me to fall back into bad habits and eat the way I used to eat and try to avoid the situations that I had to face, that I had to challenge. And I'm just so lucky that my habits have been so instilled that even during those 35 days when I gained 30 pounds, I tried. I tried to have rounds of ADF. I tried to get my rhythm back. And at least I didn't give up fully, because who knows what 35 days of just unfiltered eating and not caring at all would have led to. I'm so lucky that after gaining that weight in about 5 weeks, gaining 30 pounds in about 5 weeks, that I was able to tell myself, get back into a rhythm, get back into fasting, which is what I've done. After gaining that weight, put myself into round after round after round of ADF, dropping 21 pounds in 18 days, having a quote unquote 20% day where I ate whatever I wanted. I ate 7,500 calories, gained 7 pounds, but countered that with a 93-hour fast and ended up losing more weight than the weight I put on, leading me to lose 24 pounds in 3 weeks, and then went right back into ADF, eating every other day, fasting every other day. And then had another quote unquote 20% day where I ate 4,800 calories recently, just a couple days ago. I gained 5.6 pounds. I went from 145 to 151. And then I did a 67-hour fast, which I ended yesterday. And I lost even more weight again, dropping down to 26.2 pounds in 32 days. In the last 32 days, I've done 13 rounds of ADF. I've had a 93-hour fast under my belt. I've had a 66-hour fast under my belt. I've averaged around 48 hours and 45 minutes, or I always say that wrong. I have on average fasted for 48 hours and 45 minutes over the last 32 days. In the last 658 days of my journey, I have been fasting for 49 hours and 20 minutes. Just to let you all know that I have not stopped. Fasting has been a huge part of what I've been doing to help me keep this weight off, to help me build these better habits. Fasting has always been part of my success. And it doesn't mean that you have to fast for this long. It doesn't mean that for the next 658 days, you have to fast for a 2-day average, or how I used to fast for 4 days at the very beginning of my journey, or fast for even longer than that. All that you have to do, 7 days out, 28 days out, 365 days out, is practice imperfect consistency, be accountable, remember that the most important things here are to build good, healthy habits, to lose excess fat, to build muscle. When you think about those things being your real goals, it takes a lot of the pressure away when it comes to what the scale says. What I mean by that is if you tell yourself, if you think about what your day looks like and you make a decision to eat or whatever it is that you're doing, go to bed early, what have you, go to the gym. If you ask yourself, is this contributing to my health? Is this contributing to my happiness? If you ask yourself that, and the answer to that is yes, it shouldn't matter what the scale says. The scale will do what it needs to do if you are getting your good, healthy habits in check. Now, does that mean that every decision you need to make in life is going to always be based on, is this making me happy? Is this making me healthy? No. But the majority of it should. That's what counts. Having the scales tip on your favor, to your favor, no pun intended with the scale, but if you have more good than bad, if you have more, yes, this is making me healthy, yes, this is making me happy, over no, this isn't making me happy, no, this isn't making me healthy, that's what I call a win. It takes time, but it also takes you showing up. It takes you being accountable. I say it every single live stream, but that's the reason I encourage people to share how they're doing on their journey. I encourage people to let us know how things are going, whether good or bad, right? I've shown you many of my good days, and I've shown you days when I've struggled. The thing is, I've also struggled and have not shown those days because I didn't want to be accountable in that way. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what's happened. And there's nothing I can do about it at this point except keep pushing on, which is what I continue to do. As I have been performing round after round of ADF, as I have now completed a 93-hour fast and completed most recently a 67-hour fast yesterday, I have just continued to lose weight round after round after round for the most part. You'll see some rounds of ADF, I gained weight. But overall, I've lost more than I have gained. The reason I've lost 26.2 pounds in 32 days. When I gained weight after a round of ADF, I didn't say, well, this is pointless. Oh my God, the scale. Now I'm just going to eat whatever. No, I kept my good, healthy habits in check. And I just continue to push on. Which is why, if you trust the process, right? And you know that you're doing things for yourself that are good, that are healthy, why should you worry that much about the scale if you're doing the things that you should be doing? Don't forget about your non-scale victories. Don't forget about the way your clothes fit. Don't forget about how your energy feels. Don't forget about what your glucose numbers are running, what your blood pressure looks like, if you're able to sleep well in the evenings, if your mental health is good. Those are the things that should matter. Not, oh my God, the scale went up 0.6 pounds. Nobody cares. No one in your circle of friends or family are going to be like, oh my God, you put on 0.6 pounds. How dare you? Like I said, we don't wear a sign around our neck that shows how much we weigh. But we certainly know when we feel like we look good in a shirt that we put on, or a pair of pants, or a dress, a blouse, whatever article of clothing. Those things make so much more of a difference. You saw it yesterday when I was wearing my Jordan jersey. I couldn't wear that jersey 32 days ago because I was 30 pounds up then. Nobody knows what number on the scale I was, but I know I couldn't have fit into that jersey then. That's a huge non-scale victory. So, yesterday, I completed a 67-hour fast. It was something like 66 hours and 56 minutes. And yesterday was refeed day. So let me show you what I ate yesterday. This isn't going to be a big surprise, but this is still, it's not a surprise at the end. But like I said earlier in this live stream, I overate. I ate more than I should have, but I'll talk about that as we watch the refeed. Wow. Oh my goodness. Baba Tunda Mojo 8700 with a 20 euro, a 20. What's the other one? I'm so bad at this, but still a huge donation. Baba with the 20 either euro pound. Thank you. Meat by thy med. Thank you so much, Baba, for the 20-pound donation. That's the word I was thinking about. Baba, I don't know if I've seen you here before. Have I? I'm not sure. Good to see you here again. I don't know how this super chat works. Well, you figured it out because you just definitely sent me a huge donation. Thank you for the generous donation. When you move, will you still be doing the live program? I will. I started back again today. Currently weigh 285 pounds. Target weight 209.4 pounds. First of all, Baba, thank you for sharing your progress with us. Thank you for showing where you're currently at and where you want to be. Hopefully, these live streams are helpful for you to figure out what your next move is going to be. Hopefully, this live stream helps you realize that you don't have to do things perfectly, that all you need to do is show up and be accountable. So maybe from here on out, you keep us posted on what your journey looks like and how you're doing, and show some accountability that way. Again, I don't know if I've seen you here before, but it seems like you know my content. So, Baba, thank you so much for the generous donation. I appreciate you. I know you said you don't know how the super chat works, but you definitely figured it out, because I appreciate the donation. It popped up for me. So again, thank you so much, Baba. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Okay. So, Carnivorous teacher says, Jerome, can you post your pic with Horace Grant again? Why? You can watch it yesterday. Do you just want to see how short I am? Is that what you're trying to get at? I don't have the photo in front of me right now. It's not queued up. I'd have to throw it on there. It's refeed time anyway, everyone. So let me show you what I refed with yesterday. There we go. Let's start that from the beginning. And let me get myself on here. There we go. So yesterday, I started off with a salad, a Caesar salad. Just to share with the salad, usually I buy that bag salad, but they didn't have the Caesar light one. They ran out of it. So they only had the full fat version, which was like double the calories. So I didn't use that dressing. Instead, I used that yogurt lower calorie dressing I have. And I like that dressing when it's mixed with real Caesar dressing or at least light Caesar dressing. But when it was just with the yogurt dressing by itself, it wasn't the best. This is me eating it this way though, and I have the dressing on my lip and it looked like it didn't want to go away. So I'm trying to wipe it off and it still looks like it didn't go away. And I'm looking at myself, making sure it went away. And sure enough, it did. Caesar salad with extra Parmesan Romano cheese and croutons. Nothing too crazy, but a great way to start my refeed. And then, of course, Brussels sprouts. I'm showing you all here how roasted they are. I was blowing on it because it was right out of the oven. I think I show you, yep, here's the whole bowl. These were so good. I think I've perfected the way that I've made these Brussels sprouts. I'm dipping it here in balsamic vinegar. Great acidity to these veggies. This was about a pound of Brussels sprouts, maybe a little under a pound. And then these are boneless chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I always start with just the protein at the very beginning. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, maybe onion powder, garlic powder. I can't remember. But here's me taking a gigantic bite. And then after that, I had the chicken again with a huge bowl of mushrooms, cherry tomatoes, and white rice underneath. I think you all know, if you've been watching me long enough, this is how I usually eat my standard meals. The huge bowl of white rice, it was about 300 grams. The chicken was almost about a pound's worth. And then here is dessert time. I have a bowl of strawberries, pineapples, and grapes. I think this was maybe about a little over half a pound's worth. And I haven't had grapes in a long time, and I forgot how good grapes were. So just had this bowl of fruit. It was pretty good. I could actually see myself getting another half pound of fruit and maybe eating a pound's worth of fruit. 2 bananas, like always. Bananas are my favorite fruits, I'm pretty sure. And then this bowl, everyone, was really good. I ended up getting sugar-free banana pudding Jello, sugar-free Jello banana pudding. So this is a bowl of sugar-free Jello banana pudding with milk, with protein powder, and if you see the cookies on top of that, those are Biscoff cookies. Actually, I think One Golden Breeze is here. One Golden Breeze, I saw your comment on my live stream yesterday saying that you tried a Biscoff and it was too sweet. I get it. It is sweet in that way. If you're looking for something that's less sweet, One Golden Breeze, I would try those other things that I eat. Those digestives, which are those tea biscuits. If you're looking for something subtly sweet, I would definitely try digestives. I don't know if they have any where you live. I think they're made in the UK, but I can find them at a world market or some of the more international markets. And if you're looking for something that isn't as sweet, I would try those digestives out. Anyway, this is pudding, milk, protein, and Biscoff cookies. And actually, there are digestives in here as well. I mix them in the pudding. You just don't see it. This was so good. I actually really enjoyed the banana pudding on them. Obviously, with the cookies, it's having the crunch in there. To me, it makes it taste more like it tastes more like, when you just eat pudding. Like, pudding is great by itself, but sometimes you need that crunch. It's kind of why I really like pie, because I love eating crust. It's why I love cheesecake. Cheesecake and pie are my 2 favorite desserts. And usually it's pumpkin pie 9 times out of 10. But it was really good. Now, here's the thing, right? You're watching that and you're like, okay, that seems like your regular refeed. You said you ate over 3,000 calories. Where are the extra? So here's what happened. What had happened was, here's what happened. After I ate that pudding, I was at 2,997 calories. I was right there. I was at like 184 grams of protein. So I was a little under, but I was like, I could eat a couple more digestives because you know what? I'm pushing another 65-hour fast because I have an event happening this Wednesday. And for me to enjoy this event and eat a bunch of junk food, I want to push another longer fast. So I'm like, yeah, I can have a couple digestives. It's going to be okay. I think I ended up eating 8 more digestives. Each digestive is like maybe this big, something like that. It's like 71 calories. And then I ended up having more Biscoffs as well. I think I had 2 more packs of Biscoffs, and each pack has 2 cookies in them. So instead of eating 2,997 calories, I ended up eating, let me get to my sheet here. It was 3,000, hold on, I have it, 3,805 calories and 197 grams of protein. So I was over by 800 calories, right? And I felt bad. I felt guilty about it. I'm like, I didn't need to eat that many, but I also stopped myself. I had more Biscoff cookies I could have kept eating. I had more digestives I could have kept eating. I have other random food that I could have kept eating, but I stopped myself. And that is huge for me. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to imperfect consistency. You all just saw me eat a meal where I ate as clean as I could, vegetables, fruits, rice, a lot of whole foods, right? Chicken. And then you see me eating pudding, but I'm eating sugar-free pudding. And I'm trying to limit what I'm eating in volume. I added protein powder in there to prioritize protein. I had close to 200 grams of protein this refeed, but I overdid it when it came to the cookies. I haven't actually overdone it on the cookies in a long time. Yes, it happens. These are things that are hard to just stop completely. But I have also had many good days where I've been fine with it. There's no guilt. There was guilt initially. I was like, I got to stop. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm still eating another one, right? But eventually I put the brakes on and I'm like, okay, you had more than enough. I even told myself I was going to eat more than 3,000 maybe, just because I knew I was going to be doing another 65. But I'm actually trying to do this 65-hour fast on Wednesday because I'm trying to save those calories for Wednesday when I go to this event. So we'll see what the numbers look like after that. But like I said, it's imperfect. It's okay. I'm not going to be perfect. I can't show you perfection here every single day. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You just have to keep moving on. You just have to keep pushing forward and figuring out, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do from here? Were there a couple questions? Carnivorous teacher says, can you link the digestive in the description? I can throw it on there. I mean, I think you can order it on Amazon too, so I could throw it on there. Definitely. Just maybe wait like 10 minutes after this live stream and I'll throw it on there. I can put my affiliate and I'll maybe make a couple cents if you buy some. But I'm sure you could find them at like a world market. I don't know where else they have them. They have them at international markets by me, but they're not like a chain or anything like that. Bill says, I moved from ADF to daily eating, calorie counting to stay in a deficit. If I go over my calories, can I exercise the excess calories away? For example, I eat 200 calories over, so I burn 200 on the treadmill. I mean, effectively, it makes sense. It's the reason that athletes, I like the first athlete that comes to my head is what's that guy's name? He's in my head. The swimmer, the Olympian swimmer, Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps ate a ton of calories, but that's because he was really just burning a ton as well. So yeah, I can see that being an implementation. I have someone that I coach that is very, 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 very active, burns a ton of calories, and actually, because of that, eats a ton of calories and continues to lose weight. We've been working together now for over a year, and they've continued to lose weight because their cardio, their strength training at the gym is just so high. But that's their choice, right? They also know that they can't do this forever at that level. But Bill, if you're talking about an extra 200 calories, you can. The question is it worth it? I don't know how many calories it takes to burn 200 on a treadmill. And I'm not saying that you can't, right? I'm putting it out there to also be mindful of how it works, right? Because for me, I really pull or work my fasting lever. And now I'm trying to really work on my diet lever so that I keep my calories in check. But I totally get that. So it should work. Congratulations from going from ADF to daily eating. Hopefully that feels good for you. You'll have to keep us posted on how that works, on how that's going. Claire also says, could you please turn on the subtitles for this live replay? How do I do that? Don't they just do that automatically? I can look into it. I've never done that before. So I'll look into it. Okay. Where am I at? Oh, so my refeed, right? My refeed was not the best, but it's okay. I'm not beating myself up. Over my last 15 refeeds, my average refeed time is right at 4 hours. My average calories per refeed is at 3369. And my average protein per refeed is 198, close to 200. Refeed time, I'm good with. Protein per refeed, I'm good with. Average calories, it actually went up because I had a little more yesterday, but I'm still right at around 3,300. Hopefully, I'll get that down to under 3,000 as I am, for the majority, doing ADF. So I'm not worried about it. Keep moving on, right? Keep pushing on my journey. My last 7 refeeds, right? My last 7 refeeds from August 9th to August 24th, you'll see the ones that are highlighted in yellow are 20% days where I am loosely eating whatever I want, but still tracking roughly. And you'll see very high calorie days, 7,500, 4,700. The other things that are highlighted in orange, those are during my 80% days where I'm trying to keep myself at 3,000, but 3,600, 3,200, 3,800. At the end of the day, it's fine. You already saw what it averaged out to. All my refeeds lately have averaged to around 3,300. Obviously, this average would be a little higher since more recently I've had 20% days. But showing this for transparency's sake, right? Just so you know that I'm not always keeping my calories under 3,000. The majority of them, actually, my last 7 refeeds have been higher, right? But that's okay. If we're looking at what my refeed weight is after eating, it's around 5, 6, 7 pounds after a refeed. Look at the last 3 refeeds. Look at the weight This morning, I pushed 6 pounds after my refeed. The one before that, 6.6 pounds. The one before that, 6 pounds. But look at the same time what my weight is after 24 plus hours of fasting. 5 pounds after just 24 plus hours of fasting. 6 pounds, 5.5 pounds, 6.5 pounds, 6.5 pounds. And then you'll see the one highlighted in blue that I lost 8 pounds, but that was because that was coming off of a 65-hour fast. I gained 6.6 pounds after eating, 4,700 calories, and then dropping 8.2 pounds, losing more weight than what I initially put on eating 4,700 calories. Obviously, it's more than just fasting. I say this all the time. It's about making better choices when I eat. It's about my refeed length. It's about the cardio I perform, the strength training that I do. And this is no different, right? My average steps, 16,295, right? Over the last 33 days, about 16,000 steps. Yesterday's step count, just shy of 12,000. This isn't the normal 15,000 that I give myself. Yesterday was just a day that was less. Usually I tell myself, do 15,000 steps 6 days a week. So if anything, yesterday was just one of the days when I gave myself less steps in. I was also finishing up a 65-hour fast. So on those longer fasted days, I'm not as active. Overall, though, my step count is up there, right? Strength training every other day. This, for the most part, is true when I'm doing ADF, but I usually like to only strength train the day after now a refeed. So I did that today. Obviously, I ate 3,800 calories yesterday, and I lifted heavy today, which felt good. Always good to get a good lift in, to use the calories that I've eaten, right? Just because I overate doesn't mean I'm going to beat myself up and be like, well, I guess I'll eat whatever again today. No, I ate. I use those calories today to get a good walk in. I think I'm maybe 12,000 steps in right now. And I lifted heavy at the gym. Always working every single lever when it comes to weight loss. Remember, it's not just about fasting. There's so many other components when it comes to taking care of yourself, when it comes to your health and wellness, when it comes to your health, wellness, and happiness. Sugary fasting asks, are you worried about how many calories you're getting from carbs and fat? 198 grams of protein is on 800 calories. 198 grams of protein is on 800 calories. I'm a little confused because let me go back to this chart here. I had 3,800 calories with 197 grams of protein, which is actually a bit low for me. But for me, I'm trying to put about and I can't remember the number that I had because it's been a while since I did my own calculations for this. But I think I told myself for every 1,000 calories I ate, I wanted to give myself 65 grams of protein. So 2,000 calories would have been 130, and 3,000 calories would be 195. So yeah, for the most part, I'm on point. If we're actually looking at my average overall, I have my chart here. I'm a little confused about what you mean about 198 grams of protein on 800 calories, because that's a ton of protein for 800 calories. Right now, my last 15 refeeds. Oh, I actually do have a slide on that, right? Yeah. So right now, my average calories per refeed are 3,369. My average protein per refeed is around 200, which the protein should be a little higher, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at when it comes to that. Again, I'm a little confused about what you mean 198 grams of protein is on 800 calories. Because eating 800 calories and 198 grams of protein, is that even possible? Maybe it is. I don't know. But I would say even on a standard 2,000 calorie diet, 125 grams of protein is more than enough, at least for me. Yeah. YOLO. What's going on, YOLO? Not counting steps, how long do your workouts usually last? When I'm lifting weights, 25, 30 minutes, literally in and out of the gym. I don't spend a lot of time when I'm there. When I'm there, I'm either working on bench or squats or deadlifts, and then adding one or two like accessory lifts when it comes to that. But 25, 35 minutes tops. I'm not there that long. Sometimes I will say maybe it's a little longer because I do take a good amount of break between my sets, but I don't spend a lot of time when I'm in the gym. So, Claire says, is it normal that I'm eating a lot these days on OMAD? Okay, not as many calories as Jerome, but I still eat a lot and I feel like I'm never satisfied. So Claire, maybe the real thing here is think about what you're eating. Think about the foods that you're eating. Are you not satisfied because you're eating foods that aren't nutrient dense? Are you eating, right? There's always that term empty calories. The question is, what are your choices actually looking like versus the calories you're putting in? So one of the ways that I have been trying to keep myself satiated is keeping the protein high. And maybe that's the real question is how many grams of protein do you think you're eating per refeed? If you're not sure, maybe it's time to start ballparking it, right? Getting a rough number, seeing where you're at, making sure that number is up there, and see if that changes your levels of satiation. Because I know I can do it. Like, I know that I can go nuts when it comes to just eating a bunch of ultra processed foods. Super easy to take those down. And those are also super high in calories. But I know that when I'm eating a pound of fruit, 2-3 pounds of vegetables, barely any calories, but a ton of volume. And that helps with satiation. So maybe that's something to kind of look into. You'll have to let me know. Sugary fasting says, I meant not 198 calories is only 800 calories. You mean 198 grams of protein is only 800 calories? And I saw you'd eaten 3,800 calories, which meant you got 3,000 calories from fat and carbs, which seems a little high. So let's do that math, right? 4 times 198. Yeah, that's right. About 800 calories coming from protein, and then the other 3,000 coming from fat and carbs. Do I worry about? I don't. I mean, if you look at anything, right? The things that matter to me is, am I dropping weight on the scale? Am I continuing to lose excess body fat? Am I continuing to build muscle? I go to my doctor every 6 or 7 months to get my blood work done. Optimal. My type 2 diabetes, reversed. My high blood pressure, gone. My testosterone, at the highest levels I've ever seen them in. Energy, fine, right? I feel good. I think eating 200 grams of protein is like good for me. Yeah, the other amount of calories, obviously coming from a ton of carbs. And I mean, it's not even coming from a lot of fat lately because I've been making different choices like lean ground turkey. You all saw when I ate that turkey Italian sausage, which is still okay. Actually, I could eat that again. Chicken thighs, and I eat them without the skin. So yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah. No, no worries, sugary fasting. I got you. I got you. So, but you're right. You're right on the numbers there. And actually, when you say it like that, I'm like, man, that's a lot of calories that's coming from not protein. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, but my numbers are good, so I'm not really worried about that. And the foods that I'm eating, and I don't know if you watch my refeeds, I eat 2, 3 pounds of vegetables. I eat about a pound of fruit. I eat a good amount of protein, right? Like that chicken I ate, that was about a pound of chicken. So, yeah. Like the rice I ate 300 grams of rice. And whatever 300 grams of rice ends up being, I think that's like close to 380 calories or so. I don't know how many grams of carbs are in there. Well, I guess that's how you'd figure it out. But anyway, yeah, there you go. There you go. So, where am I at here? Did I go through all my stats? I did. I went through all my stats. So, oh wait, I have one more stat to share. 20% days, right? My 20% days. One Golden Breeze says, I miss the Builder's bars. One Golden Breeze, I have them. I still have them. The only reason I haven't been eating them is because they're so high in calories. I did not realize how high that was because I used to eat 6,000 calories. I will eat them on my 20% days. I will eat the rest of them, but I probably will not buy them anymore because I know I can make better choices when it comes to what I'm eating. Michael says Jerome eats bushels of veggies. I mean, I eat a good amount. How big? How much is a bushel? Is a bushel? That's a lot, I think. 20% days. And actually, as sugary fasting was talking about it, this is probably where a big amount of my carbs and fat are coming from, are my 80% or my 20% days. So if you look here, the last two 20% days, I have eaten on average 6,100 calories, 170 grams of protein. But on my 80% days, on the days when I am eating cleaner, I eat about 3,000 calories on average and 200 grams of protein. I show this slide so that you all understand that I practice an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I eat relatively clean. I do weigh my food. I limit my calories 80% of the time. The other 20% of the time, I'm very loose with it. I'm going to eat what I want. I'm usually having these days when I'm out with friends or family or both. But if you think about it, in the last 33 days, this isn't even an 80-20 split. I've only gone out 2 days for 20%. So really, this is more like a 94-6 day, right? 94% of the time, I've either been doing OMAD or keeping my calories under 3,000. The other 2 days, I ate whatever I wanted. Just, again, to show you that my life isn't going to be perfect. I'm never going to eat perfect every single day. My fasts aren't going to be perfect. My exercise routines will not always be perfect. But it doesn't stop me from working all my levers of weight loss. Oh, a bushel is a unit of volume. That I knew. So its weight varies significantly by vegetable type from about 20. Okay, I don't eat a bushel, Michael. Nowhere close to that. A bushel of onions is 50 pounds. No, yeah, not even close. Not even close. Okay, it's time for fit check, everyone. I am up 6 pounds, so I am feeling quite bloated today. But we do fit check because it is for honesty and transparency and to let you all know that I don't want to hide. I don't want to hide. I don't want to keep things a secret. I ate a bunch of extra Biscoff cookies yesterday and a bunch of digestive tea biscuits. And now I have to show you what that looks like. However many hours later. How many hours am I fasted right now? 16. I'm 16 hours fasted right now. The last thing I ate last night was either a Biscoff or a digestive tea biscuit. So I'm full of that at the moment. I'm up 6 pounds. So fit check is when I stand back there and I show you all what I look like physically. I'll always go through these at this point. I have been a fat kid my entire life. I have been in adolescence, in my teenage years, overweight, but by the time I was a teenager, I was already morbidly obese, weighing at my heaviest around 235 pounds at 5'3" and always hovering somewhere around that weight. I have worn size 38 waist pants because nothing could fit around this belly that you see there. And today I wear a size 28 waist. And even the 28s that I wear are a little big on me, to the point that a lot of my shirts that I wear are boys' shirts. I wear kids' clothes because I'm 5'3". I'm short. If you were here on yesterday's live stream, you would have seen me standing next to a 6'10" Horace Grant, if you really wanted to see how short I look. All right, time for fit check. Okay. This shirt here is a size extra large boys. These pants are also boys pants. I'm also wearing pants today because it's cold here in Chicago. It's the high today is only like 68. So summer is about to end, everyone. Where did summer go? All right. Front shot, side shot, rear or back, side shot. And that's it. Yes, I still have fat on me. You'll see me hold on to it here, right? That is what I'm trying to get through or get rid of. I know, like I said, I'm up 6 pounds from yesterday's refeed, so I know I have water weight on me, but I obviously still have fat on me as well. Mostly on my lower stomach at this point. I mean, I'm sure I probably have pockets of fat elsewhere, but I know the majority of it is on my lower stomach. We'll see how long it takes to get rid of that. That's fit check, everyone. I'll do Q&A, question and answer. That's what Q&A means. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them now. I'll answer what I can to the best of my ability. While you might have questions to ask and are typing them away, if you're looking for help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You could book a one-on-one session with me. You get to talk to me in real life, not in the flesh, but you get to talk to me one-on-one. We can talk about putting a plan and a strategy together. We can talk about doing something that works for you. My goal is to help you get to your goals. That's all I'm trying to do, is help you get to your goals. You don't even have to do coaching with me. You watch these streams. I try to give as much knowledge and share with you exactly what I'm doing in hopes that you can start working on your good, healthy habits. So, but you could also go to finallyfasting.com if you want to support me and you want to buy stickers like this one here, or hats. Like I was going to say the one on my head, but I'm wearing a Bulls hat, like this one here. Sorry, I wear a lot of hats, everyone. But finallyfasting.com, if any of that might be helpful for you. Also, if you want to support me in a different way, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. You can click the link in the description of this live stream where you can be a member. And in that membership, you can get your name on the intros of these live streams. You get to use custom emoji. If you join the higher tier, you get to join in on the Wednesday live streams where we have a group coaching session where we all hold each other accountable. It's a very different type of live stream. It's not just me talking. Other people get on chat or camera and share their progress. It's a good way to keep yourself in check if you're looking for accountability in that type of way as well. So if you're interested in that, take a look at the link in the description of this live stream, or you can click the join button on YouTube. And I'm not exactly sure how else you're supposed to do it. So, okay, that's my plug. Okay. Questions? Let me see. Oh, so Claire says you eat about 200 grams of protein, or you're saying you eat 200 grams of meat. Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. Oh, but you're also eating hard-boiled eggs. So your protein's up there. Maybe your eating is just like me. And if you're having trouble then when it comes to losing weight, then you know what the answer is. You have two options here, right? One, you fast for longer, or two, you either limit calories or you even eat cleaner. But it looks like you eat pretty clean from what I'm seeing here. So you'll have to keep me posted. Actually, I've been using ChatGPT lately to help calculate calories lately. It's a lot easier than throwing something in a website. So it is helpful in that way. Sleck asks, Jerome, do you feel like you get more cravings when you eat more carbs/sugar? Does it make it any harder to fast for you? So do I get more cravings if I eat more carbs/sugar? Yes and no. There's a reason I eat the way I do, Slack. If you see, right, I start off with vegetables and protein, vegetables and meat. That's what I start off with. And I eat a lot of vegetables and protein or meat. I don't even add the rice in until after, because I know that if I eat rice at the beginning, the hunger level is going to go through the roof. So I'm trying to pack in the protein at the very beginning. And then the fruits come in, and then the foods that are more processed come last. So there's a reason that I structure it that way, because yes, if I started eating a bowl of white rice and whatever meat I have, a salad at the very end of my refeed, I'm not going to want to eat that salad, right? So that's how I feel about that. Does it make it any harder to fast? No. I'm pretty automatic when it comes to fasting. I think I've said this many times, but fasting, again, I'm not saying this to brag, everyone, but fasting is easy for me. I don't have a problem when it comes to fasting. I'm working on another 65-hour fast right now. And for me, it's just, I'm not bragging, everyone. Maybe I am a little bit. It's a walk in the park. It's easy for me. I'm good at fasting. The diet part is the hard part, but I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. My exercise is pretty good. I don't have much of an issue there. I don't think there's much I would change in that department. Sleep is probably the worst thing I'm doing right now. I feel like my sleep is worse than my diet, which sucks. I got to get better about my sleep. But as far as fasting being difficult for me, it isn't. It really isn't. The reason that fasting is as easy as it is for me today is because of the accountability, though. If I didn't have anyone to be accountable to or for, fasting would be 10 times harder. If I didn't have to show up for people, fasting would be 10 times harder. This is why I keep telling all of you the importance of accountability. I don't know. I don't know what it is for other people who are here, but when I do these daily live streams, is it helpful for you to keep fasting? Is it helpful for you to keep your good, healthy habits in check? You don't have to answer, but I'd love to hear it if it's helpful for you in that way. If it is, right, then you know that being accountable maybe being active in chat and sharing your progress, whether good or bad, that can be, maybe that's just the difference between some people. So for me, that's kind of how that works. Thanks for the question. It's like Sugary Fasting asks, what kind of strength training do you do? Do you follow a program? I don't. I just, so I do the big three. I bench press, I deadlift, and I squat. Those are the big exercises that I do. I always lead with those exercises. And then if I'm, let's say, doing bench press, then maybe what I'll do is I'll do tricep workouts, sometimes on a machine, sometimes with just another dumbbell or barbell, not dumbbell, sometimes with dumbbells. If I'm doing deadlifts, then I'm working back and I'm doing pull-ups or other bicep exercises. And when I do squats, I do legs, right? I'm working on legs. And then other days I do core. And sometimes I don't even go to the gym to do core. I'll do core exercises at home. I mean, I used to have a rug here and I would do planks and stuff, and I don't do that anymore. Not until, I have a better situation. I don't follow a program though. I mean, I progressive overload, meaning that I'm always trying to get a little higher on the weights when I'm lifting, but I don't lift that heavy anyway. And so I'm going very slow. For me, it's more just like maintaining my muscle and gaining what I can. So that's the program that I'm doing. Nothing in particular at that point. Wait, Michael, did you have a question or were you talking about something else? Or did I miss something? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Sorry, I'm just seeing if there are any other questions here. Oh, there is a question. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad I see the comments about how these live streams are helpful. So I'm glad that they are. Michael, where's the question? How do I not see it? Question above about switching up fast times. Okay, let me find it. Here it is. Michael asks, hello everyone, OMAD today, 90-hour fasts last week. Now working on not sure how long. Gotcha. Jerome, do you know pros or cons of mixing fast times up sometimes? OMAD, ADF, 3 days. This is a good question. So, okay, let me see if I can answer this in the best way that I can. I think all of these have pros and cons. Doing OMAD, right? Doing OMAD, the pros of that, you get to eat every day. Obviously, the con is if you eat like me, it's going to be hard to limit your calories, especially if you're trying to lose excess fat, right? Which is why I'm not doing OMAD right now, because then I'd have to cut my calories by quite a bit to really start losing excess fat off of me. That's kind of how I see it with OMAD. Another pro for OMAD, though, is you get to eat every day, which gives you energy to probably lift every day if you wanted to. But for me, I don't even see the point of lifting every day. I like giving myself rest in between. So I only lift every other day. ADF, I think ADF is a really good sweet spot to lose weight. I feel like the only con an ADF would give you is if you're already at maintenance and you're not trying to lose any more weight. ADF would then you'd have to eat a lot more. I mean, for me, if let's say I was at the exact weight I wanted to be, I would probably have to eat 4,600 calories every ADF to make sure I don't continue to lose weight. So, I mean, other than that, I don't really see, too much of a con there. I look at ADF as a pretty good sweet spot in terms of building muscle. Obviously, I think there are, right? I'm not a scientist. I don't know the exact workings of how this is, but I'm sure there are going to be people, I'm sure there are people that are going to tell you, no, you got to eat every day to preserve muscle, to build muscle. And maybe that's true, but I feel like I'm getting really good results eating every other day. Now, doing a 3-day fast, a 4-day fast, or longer, I think that is where the muscle thing can be a bigger issue. Obviously, the cons of that is you don't eat for a while, right? But there's also the question of preserving muscle, especially going for such a long time. I mean, even for me, when I was doing 5-day fast, 7-day fast, 3-day fast, 4-day fast, right? Like I felt I was preserving muscle. I was still going to the gym. I wasn't lifting heavy because I couldn't, right? I could lift heavy maybe the day after a refeed, but other than that, like I didn't have the same amount of strength. But I sure lost a lot of weight and fat doing it that way. I think maybe the biggest con when it comes to longer fasts is more of, is it an actual sustainable thing you can do, right? um but if you're talking about just mixing it up and pros and cons with that, I really think it's how you use your calories. That's really how I look at it. So think about it like this: if I ate 5,000 calories and the next day I did nothing and I laid on my couch and did absolutely nothing, I think it's a waste, right? You ate all those calories and now you're doing nothing with it. Now you're just having it store in your body, right? Versus somebody that might eat 5,000 and has to work a 12-hour day with a very physical, demanding job, right? And that makes a big difference versus someone that has a sedentary job, or somebody that eats very few calories because during that day, maybe they're doing some type of spiritual cleanse or meditation, right? Where for that day, they're just chilling at home. They're not eating anything, or they're eating very few calories because they have more of a chill day. I do think a lot of it also involves how many calories you are intending to use throughout that day. So, um, you're not a scientist? Well, I'm out of here. I mean, I always have to say it because, it's like I want people to understand that I don't know everything. I mean, I know most of you know that, but I also say that, oops, I didn't mean to keep this up here. I also say that because, listen, right? I'm just an average guy. Um, these people that you see on YouTube, they don't know everything either. They don't. They don't know you. They don't know what it's like in your brain. They don't know what it's like to struggle the way you do. They don't know what it's like to emotionally eat the way you do, to comfort eat the way you do. They don't know how you experience or deal with grief, right? How you worry about specific things, how things can completely impact you and just flip your, world around. I can only share my perspective and what I've learned with other people that I've worked with, but even that isn't enough. The one thing that I realize is everyone is different. We all react differently to how we do things. I mean, the one thing I do know is if you eat 0 calories, AKA fast, you're going to lose weight. You will definitely lose weight. You'll get weight off of you. I'm here to teach people that like you can do an in between, that it's okay to be imperfect. What I don't like is when people preach something and they think it's the only thing that matters ever. Like that shit annoys me. It really does. So, I think we all learn from each other. And that's why I love this community. That's why I love when people share what they're doing and figuring out what works and what doesn't, because that's how we learn too. I mean, even for sugary fasting to talk about, did you realize that 800 of your 3,800 calories you ate was only protein? But now it makes sense too, because the extra 800 calories I ate was all cookies. But it was like, oh shit, that's true. That's true. But anyway, I think that's it for me. I think that's all I got. So, I got a lot of shit I still got to do today. I have other coaching sessions today. I got to ship some stuff out. I have to continue deep cleaning this place because I have to be out of here this week, everybody. Actually, either Wednesday or Thursday will be the last day I live stream in this apartment. We should throw a party. And actually, on the last day that I live stream, actually on both Wednesday and Thursday, I will be live streaming in the morning because I don't think, well, no, Thursday I might be able to live stream during my regular time, but Wednesday I'm going to be live streaming in the morning. So we'll talk about it. We got a couple days, but I'm going to be out of here soon. And who knows where I'm going to be live streaming after this. All right. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I want to thank everybody for coming by. I want to thank everybody in chat for being here. Thank you for showing your accountability. Thank you for your support, helping each other out. Thank you for your kindness and helping other people in that way, building this community. It really does mean a lot to me. Wandering Traveler and Baba, thank you so much for the donations today. It means a lot to me. It helps support what I do. I appreciate that. It's never asked for in that way, but it is always greatly appreciated. And as well, right, to all of my Finally Fasting family, all my members on my channel, thank you for the support as well. You guys don't have to do that, but you do. You want to support in that way, and I appreciate you so much. So, all right, everyone, that's it. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Are you going to show up tomorrow? Are you going to show some accountability tomorrow? Are you going to be honest about what you're doing? Are you going to keep pushing forward on your journey? Show me, right? Show me by being here tomorrow. Okay, that's all I got. We'll talk soon. Bye for now. See ya.